Imagine a massive international airport, right?
Yeah.
But none of the airlines actually share a ticketing system.
Oh, it'd be complete chaos.
Total chaos. You'd have passengers or, well, in our case, audio signals just completely stranded at the gate.
Right, because nobody speaks the same language.
Exactly. So welcome to your custom deep dive. Today's mission is fixing that exact bottleneck. We are looking at a product catalog page from HDTVSupply for this tiny, like 0.3 kilogram box. It's called the Blustream DA11AEN-V2 Dante audio analog encoder.
I know, it sounds super intimidating.
It really is a mouthful. But we're going to unpack exactly why this little box is just a massive problem solver for audio networks.
Yeah, because it solves a very specific and honestly a very frustrating headache. Its core job is taking standard 2-channel analog audio, so that could be balanced, meaning the cable is shielded from electrical noise, or unbalanced. And it encodes that into Dante digital signals. Basically, it lets your legacy gear, like, I don't know, an old mixing console or an amp you still really love, it lets them talk to a modern digital audio network.
So it's basically acting like a universal translator.
Exactly.
But I mean, it's doing way more than just handing over a digital passport, right? Because analog audio is a continuous physical sound wave. It's essentially a fluctuating electrical voltage.
Yeah, an actual physical wave.
And this box is taking that wave, chopping it up into tiny, perfectly timed digital data packets, and then firing them down a standard internet cable.
And the cool part is it ensures those packets don't get rejected when they reach their destination. That is because it supports AES-67 RTP audio transport.
AES-67.
Yeah, think of AES-67 as sort of the United Nations of audio protocols. So even if your equipment speaks slightly different digital dialects, AES-67 forces them to agree on a common standard.
So the signal never gets lost in translation.
Right, exactly. It all just flows.
But wait, because it's constantly translating and, chopping up these physical voltages into network data on the fly, you would think there'd be this massive processing delay.
Oh, you definitely would. But that's where the engineering really stands out here. It actually gives you a configurable device latency of just 2 to 10 milliseconds.
Wait, 2 milliseconds?
Yeah, which you manage right through the Dante controller software. I mean, to put 2 milliseconds into perspective, it actually takes sound longer to naturally travel from a speaker to your ear in a normal living room.
Oh, wow. So it is virtually instantaneous.
Pretty much. It means a live band won't hear a weird echo in their monitors when they are playing. Plus, it processes all of this at up to 96 kilohertz at 32-bit.
So pristine, super high-resolution audio.
Pristine audio, yes.
I do have to ask, though, at around $422, why wouldn't someone just buy a cheap USB audio interface? Or, just completely replace their old analog mixer? Why go through the trouble of buying this specific Blustream unit?
Well, because a cheap USB interface doesn't put you on a Dante network.
Ah, got it.
Right. Like if you're retrofitting a massive corporate boardroom or maybe a complex house of worship, running physical analog cables all across a huge building is just a total nightmare. You are dealing with electrical interference, massive labor costs.
Which nobody wants to deal with.
Exactly. But Dante lets you send hundreds of pristine audio channels over standard network cables that, frankly, are probably already in the walls.
Right, so this little box just bridges that gap.
It bridges the gap so you don't have to throw away thousands of dollars of perfectly good legacy analog gear just to upgrade your infrastructure.
And I also noticed it runs on power over Ethernet, right? PoE.
Yes, it does.
Which means it draws power straight from that exact same network cable. Like, one cable does both data and power, which severely cuts down on cable clutter. But what if your network switch doesn't support PoE? Are you just kind of out of luck?
Oh, no, not at all. Blustream engineered it with redundancy in mind. So if your specific switch doesn't provide PoE, the unit actually includes a standard 12-volt DC power input just in case.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, and you combine that with a built-in web interface for really fast configuration, plus a 5-year warranty.
That is a solid warranty.
It is. It gives you the kind of reliability AV professionals really need, especially when they're installing these things up in, hard-to-reach ceiling racks.
So for you, the listener, whether you are managing a huge corporate installation or maybe just upgrading a really complex home setup, it's really all about saving time.
Saving time and eliminating the headache of traditional wiring.
Right. The Blustream DA11AEN-V2 is basically the ultimate compact bridge over that analog to digital divide.
It proves that we really don't have to abandon our old instruments and mixing boards just to embrace new, hyper-efficient infrastructure.
Which honestly leaves you with a pretty wild thought. With devices like this effectively turning every traditional physical sound wave into internet data packets, are we rapidly approaching a future where the classic, thick audio cable becomes a total relic?
It's completely possible.
Will every microphone, instrument, and speaker eventually just plug in with standard IT network cords? Something to ponder next time you're wiring up a system?